think of the passion, God love everlasting. Keep the law of the land and book in case you're asking. Moving forward to the learning and it's free, cause I know that God know the combo go with Sister E. Love talk Sister E, God work Sister E, charity Sister E, let's talk with Sister E. All different type of information every week. Let me speak. If you subscribe, we going deep. Love talk Sister E, God's work Sister E, charity Sister E, let's talk with Sister E.
What's going on, family? What's going on? Let me see what mic is defaulted to. Hold on. All right, it's the other mic. How's everybody doing this evening? How's everybody doing this evening? What is going on, y'all? So, y'all, Sister E has to go on another diet. Y'all pray for me. Ooh, I went to the doctor today and I said, Lord, what have I been doing? So I gotta watch what I'm eating. Well, I ain't go to the doctor today, but when I went to the doctor a while back, and I got on the scale, I was so disappointed with life. I said, oh no. So this was about a couple of weeks ago. This was a while ago. But I've come to the realization that I got to get it together. I love a good meal, but a meal is not that important to me. And I got a little fluffy, so sis got to get it together. So I am planning to start juicing and doing smoothies here in the next couple of weeks. Not this week, and I really don't eat a lot of breakfast, but get back into the swing of things. So, yeah. Oh, ain't that? Ooh, don't that food be good? Oh, that food be so good. And then I just was like, oof, I got to give it up. But you know what? When I first moved here, I gained a lot of weight moving here because you eat, even though you walk in New York, it's a ton of places to eat. So everything is centered around going to dinner. So yeah, I gotta get it together. Somebody says just a little holiday weight. You'll be fine. Baby, I wish it was just a little holiday weight. This is a little going to dinner, late night snack, going in the refrigerator. I was walking today with my daughter and I was sweating hard. I said, oh Lord, Rio, I'm gonna beat the brakes off. Get out of here. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna put Rio out my room. First and foremost, I'm still unpacking in my room. Hold on, y'all. Come on. Man, call Rio. Hold on, y'all. This is the same one from Paris Club. Well, I need to confirm it from you, Rio. Tell everyone to take us there more. I don't know who. I don't know how. Yeah, y'all. I got my children in there watching the fall of the House of Usher. So they in there watching it. I've watched it already. So yeah, I gotta get it together, y'all. I gotta get it together. I'm gonna start this thing called Class Pass. And Class Pass consists of being able to take classes and workout classes and do that and show up to class. It's cheap. And you pay every month and you get like 8 classes. So I gotta get it together. What is that noise? Oh, Ruhama said, Fluffy, you're not fluffy. Oh, Ruhama, I am fluffy. Ooh, she just texted me. I'm like, yeah, I'm a little fluffy right now. I just enjoyed all this good eating. And it has to stop. I can still indulge, but not as much, y'all. So back to business. I got me somewhere stable to live. I'm in a stable neighborhood. I'm working on this room. And see, I'm a stress eater. And I've been stressed. This year by far is the most stressful year I have had in my entire year. No, my back ain't that big though. I ain't got big, but I didn't got a little. My clothes is tight now. But yeah, somebody just texted me that his Ruchama laughing at me. But this has been a stressful year for me. I'm a stress eater. And I have to work on that because when I'm stressed out, and y'all, I have been stressed out for the past 3 years. Didn't realize how stressed out I was. I buy an RV. That's my goal. But for the past, and I ain't thick around the ankles. Ain't that bad. Ain't got that bad. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Yeshua. It didn't get that bad. My ankles are still small. but but oh wow. Well, you lost 115 and only gained back 20. Every ounce of weight that I've lost has come back. But that's all right, family. Let's all make each other accountability buddies. Who is trying to get it in order? Give me a one. I am. But yeah, I have been stressed for the past 3 years. I was stressed when I moved here. Moved into an apartment I did not like. Praise the Most High that He blessed me with a roof on my head. Um, but I didn't like it. I moved to New York. New York is one of these cities where you just can't jump in. New York is not that type of city where you like, I'm here and I'm good and I'm happy, baby. New York, that's why they say if you last past 2 years, you go into your third year, you a warrior. Had to get used to. This past 3 years, I moved into an apartment that was the size of a cubbyhole. Didn't realize it's not good to live in an apartment next to the trash chute. Didn't understand that. Live next to. So guess what? I could hear the rodents in the wall. So I said, I got to get up out of here. Got up out the apartment. But while I was in that apartment, I mean, I had problems with the ceiling was leaking. It was so much going on with that apartment. Then when I got the apartment and I said, once my lease is up in a year, I'm gonna go somewhere else. Well, guess what? I got laid off from my job. So I went through 3 months of being unemployed and trying to find a job. Finally got a job. Actually had 2 gigs. Worked the job and then got my main gig that I had to quit the other two because I had the main gig. Got a job. Got the job. Everything seemed like it was going good. This is year one. I made it through year one. That was made it to June. The second year, I said, okay, I'm just going to renew my lease and hang on in there. Got my job that I currently have now. Everything going good. It's like, okay. So when this lease ends, I'm going to give me another apartment. Now, keep in mind, nobody told me what it's like to get an apartment in New York. Nobody told me about that. Nobody said that outside of the realm of COVID, because I moved here during COVID, everything was easy. But this is normal season. It was horrible. So while I'm in the middle of getting comfortable with my job, my dad goes in the hospital. Then 3 days later, my dad passed. My dad didn't pass like we knew he was sick and he was on his death. No, my dad was walking and talking and joking and laughing. And the next day, I actually found him passed out in the bathroom. And I heard him hit the floor. And when I heard it, I actually thought it was Madison that fell out the bed. I said, did Madison fall out the bed? And as I walked into the living room where he was sitting before he passed out, he wasn't there. I knew then. I said, he done passed out because because he had been sick anyway. But He had been having dreams of his dead loved ones. It was a lot. And found him in the bathroom. Found him in the bathroom. We called the ambulance, got to the hospital. He was at the hospital joking and laughing with us. Then the next day, he wasn't talking. This was back in January. It was like the first week of January of this year. Um, then from there, I think 3 days later, he was gone. Stuck in Memphis because at that time I was in Memphis, so I decided to stay in Memphis just a little longer because I know we were making arrangements for my father's funeral. I was stuck in a snowstorm. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I just heard something. So, with that being said, stuck in Memphis, we finally had his funeral. Came back to the city after his funeral, and then realized I gotta move. I gotta move out this apartment. I moved out the apartment. Had these wonderful plans to say, okay, I'm gonna be with my mom for the summer and take my time to try to find an apartment. And found out that it's a nightmare to try to find an apartment in New York. It took me, I moved out of my apartment in June. I didn't move into this apartment until September. It took me just that long. That's crazy. I just realized it. It took me just that long. I moved into my apartment. I want to say, was it September? I think it was either August or Sep, because I got to count it based on my rent. Paid the first month, then paid my partial month. So yeah, so it was August. It was August when I moved. I think it was August. I can't remember. Finally got my apartment, and now starting to get settled. Things are going better. Things are going better. Um, still, still kind of getting through of the loss of my dad. If anybody who knows me and have followed me, and I hate I'm saying this on a sour note, we're gonna get into the Trump stuff. Anybody knows me, me and my dad had a very, very close relationship. Me and my dad, I was daddy's girl. I'm a mama's girl too, though. But the hardest part is my daddy was the world to my daughter. That was her granddaddy. That's how she said it. I see those videos, y'all, of the smaller grandkids crying because they on TikTok because they don't want to leave their granddaddy. And that's how she was. When she was a baby, I would have to wait till she fall asleep and grab her and take her home. Cause oh man, I lost my 10-year-old daughter, so I know how you feel that. I am so sorry to hear that, y'all's Saint. I'm so sorry to hear that. Um, but I just, man, her granddaddy was her world. Granddaddy from this very young age. And they used to have this joke amongst each other when she was younger. When she would spend the summer with them, she wouldn't go to sleep. And he'd be like, "Good night, Ellie Mae." And she'd be like, "Good night, John Boy." And they would be joking until she fell asleep when she was younger. I think the hardest part was when she was standing over him when he was passing, and she said, "Good night, John Boy." And he looked at her, and I said, "Oh, right there was enough for me." So we've been dealing with that. We've been dealing with that. So keep us in prayer. We're doing better because the last thing he really said to me was when my mama said, Lonzo, his name was Lonzo. Lonzo, Nikki found you in the bathroom. That's my nickname, Nikki. And he looked at me. He said he was incoherent. He was half in and out. He looked at me and he said, baby, you saved my life. Man, y'all, that right there. And if anybody know, me and my dad have a very close relationship, but I'm the stubborn child. Very stubborn, set in my ways. Real stubborn. Real stubborn. He would just have to fuss at me to get me to do stuff. And we had a period where we would argue sometimes because I was hard headed. And we had a period where we was at odds with each other. And we were more so at odds with each other during my divorce. So he me and him. Is that Rio walking around? Is Rio walking around? Okay, I got a little freaked out. But right before he passed, for the past 2 years, he's been visiting me in New York. Every year he would come and visit during the summer. And the last summer he came to visit me, he said, baby, I finally understand you. We had a long talk. He said, baby, I finally understand you. So hold on, y'all. So, but y'all bless. I thank God for 80 years of a great father. 80 years of a fantastic man that taught me, I'm so tired of Ruhama, that taught me everything in life. Taught me how to survive. Taught me how to be happy in life. One thing I can say about that is, in spite of what this man went through, he always had a smile on his face. Never let life get him to this place. He never allowed life to take him there. So y'all, with that being said, I want to give y'all some words of encouragement because maybe that's the reason why I'm talking about him. Be grateful for the good times. One thing y'all has taught me in this journey, for the past 2 years, be grateful, beloved. I used to be so grateful. I used to ungrateful. I would murmur and complain about every little thing that didn't work. And I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like my job. I don't like my apartment. God says, okay, you don't like your job. I'm going to take your job. When he took my job, I said, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I need my job back. He got me another job. I said, I don't like where I live. He snatched where I live. I was homeless. I forgot to mention, I was homeless for 2 months, really. I was living in and out of Airbnbs, which were a nightmare. I lived in New Jersey for 2 months, which I'm not knocking New Jersey, but that's not home for me. So I had to live in and out of Airbnbs, had wrecked my brand new car this summer. Oh, y'all, this summer has been rough. Had to put my car in the body shop. But he had to take everything away. And when he took my dad away, I remember I wasn't angry. I was more in shock. And most I had to show me, appreciate what I gave you, beloved. I gave you a prince, a king to be your father. My father was an amazing dad. God, he was amazing. He was the father of the neighborhood. Kids would come to the house when we were kids. during the summer because my dad was worked for the school system. So during the summer, he was off. And all of us would be off in the neighborhood. I had to be about 11 or 12. And my dad would wake up every morning and cook breakfast for us, everybody. And not only for us, he would cook breakfast for the neighborhood kids. He says, you never know who hungry. That was his thing. You never know who needed to eat. He wouldn't but just be making some oatmeal. He would be making pancakes. And we didn't have a lot. But what we had, he taught us to share. He would make pancakes, bacon. Yes, I know it's pork, but don't judge us. That was back then. Bacon, sausage, rice, grits. He said, I'm finna fill all y'all kids up so y'all can go outside and don't come back in my house asking for food again. So he's an amazing father. Oh man, amazing. So with that being said, the Most High had to show me in this journey, this dark place for the past 3 years, y'all. It's been a dark place for me. Dark place for me. And I was walking today, y'all. I was just walking around my neighborhood. And I had to say, Father, thank you. Father, thank you. I said, I thank you for my peace. I thank you for my joy. I thank you for the people that you've surrounded me with. I thank you for the roof that I have over my head. I thank you for my daughter. I thank you for my mother. I thank you for my sister. I thank him for everything that he's given me. And in this, he taught me how to be grateful. That's what the children of Israel were getting in trouble about the most. They was murmuring, complaining. We don't want manna for heaven. We want this. And God is not pleased because what he gives us is a blessing. We may not even want it. It may be some things that we wanted and we didn't get. And we're upset about it. And we're trying to figure out, Father, why I didn't get this job? Father, why didn't I get this car I wanted? Why didn't I get this man I wanted? I had that moment in life. This dog is really making noise. Why didn't I get this? Why didn't I get that? Sometimes we look for things that he says, I am protecting you, beloved. I'm protecting you. And sometimes he does not allow us to get the things we want because it'll be our demise. It'll be our fall. It'll be something that in the long run be something that'll hurt us. He says, I never leave you nor forsake you. And in this, he never left me nor forsake me. I never stopped talking to him either through the process. So in this season in our life, y'all, in this season, I know in this season where we are, we in Egypt, we in Babylon, we in Goshen. I don't know what we call it, whatever it is. Wherever we are, give him thanks. Because he is our Elohim and he will sustain us in this season. I know some people are like, I want to go to Africa. I want to go to I heard people say, we got to go to Costa Rica. We got to go to Africa. We got to go to Brazil. We got to go somewhere. Father, what is your will? Where do I need to go? Where do you want me to lay my feet? And even in the midst of destruction, he'll sustain and keep us. He'll sustain and keep us. It goes to a scripture, and I never understood this scripture. We've been talking about let me go to it real quick. Yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, thy comfort me. Thou preparest a table in the presence of mine enemies. Thy anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I used to look at that as a scripture that I would hear only in funerals, and I'd be like, ugh. But the older I get, the more I see it. Oh, I read for Psalms 91 as well. As well. That's another good one. But I used to always be like, oh gosh, but I understand it. I understand it. I understand it. He says he'll be our shepherd. That's all he's telling us. He said, in the midst of it, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Man, I read that and I said, whoo. So while we in the midst of it, he'll prepare a table before our enemies. When all hell breaks loose, he'll prepare a table before our enemies. He'll set us above and we won't fall or we won't faint. But the key to it is trusting him. And that's all he's been saying. He said, do you have faith in me, beloved? When I was homeless and crying, I was staying in an Airbnb. And that was the last Airbnb I stayed in. And I was sitting in the living room doing some work on my laptop. And one of the guys who was staying in the Airbnb had come in, and I could tell he had a spirit over him. Shadow of death. I saw it on him. I said, Lord. And the way he came in, I felt like, oh my God. I said, my daughter's in her room. I'm in here. He didn't do anything, but I felt the darkness coming off of him. And I knew he was getting ready to do something. And I was sitting in that kitchen like, you know how you sitting in the midst of something that's about to happen, but you can't move fast enough because the situation is moving faster than you. So you trying your best to gather yourself. Not to mention, this dude walk in while I'm in the middle of a meeting and I'm in front of nothing but executives. And they can't see us down. If they see that we having a hard time, that's when they start looking at us crazy. And I'm sitting there because I gotta hide the fact of what I'm going through, because then they'll be ready to take you into HR and say, oh, you're having problems. So you have to hold up a facade and a smile on your face when all hell is breaking loose around you. And that's exactly what was going on. I was sitting in the meeting like, yes, okay. All the while, the man came out of the room and said, I locked my key in the room. And he was talking to himself. I said, oh, Lord. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the computer. This is the last Airbnb I was staying in. And I'm talking. I'm like, yes, so. Yep, these numbers are correct. Such and such and such and such. And the dude proceeds to go in the room. He was arguing with the owner because the owner was like, you're going to have to wait till I get done to come and let you. But I need to get in my room right now. And I'm muting it. And I can't tell this crazy man to be quiet because I knew. So I'm looking over, right in the side of me was knives. And I said, oh my God. I said, this nothing but knives over there. Because, Airbnbs come equipped with knives. I'm sitting here. And I had to sit there and I just had to just trust him. And he proceeds to hang up with the guy and go in the room and start kicking the door down. And I'm sitting there, and Madison comes out of her room and she sits next to me and she gives me a look like, what is he finna do to us? That's how we felt. He proceeds. So I'm grabbing and I'm trying to get to my purse and my keys. Not to mention, I had Rio with me. So it was me, Madison, and Rio. I'm like, I got to get my daughter, let's go. And I'm getting ready to go. He kicks the door and grabs his stuff, comes out of the room in his underwear and a t-shirt. And I could tell he had his underwear on. I'm sitting there like, yeah, I'm finna have to fight. In my mind, I said, it's about to go down. And I'm looking at them knives like, it's finna go down today, sir. I'm looking at him like, it's either you or me and my daughter. And rest assured, it's going to be you. And I had to sit there and get my mind right. He walked into the room. He grabbed his stuff and ran straight out the house. and never came back again. The owners came later and they said, "What happened?" I said, "He kicked the door in. He came out of the room inappropriate. My daughter's here, my dog here." He said, "Don't worry about it. He's gone. He's not gonna be able to get in." And it was in Newark. We were in Newark, New Jersey. It was in an area, I forgot the name of the street. Oh, it was like, oh, it was in the hood, but it was over by a bunch of factories. Um, didn't know, didn't know that I'm in the middle of, the hood. I'm sitting there and I'm bracing myself. He grabbed his stuff and ran out the house with all his stuff. I sat there and I praise God for, and I don't know why I'm talking about this right now, but we're here now. And then we're gonna go back and we're gonna go straight into Trump. I'm sitting there, and my CIO, I work directly with, this is the type of job I work with, nothing but executives, high level, high ranking executives for a company. And I handle like C-suite. If you know anything about help desk, we handle C-suite, white gloves, all of that. My team deals with the entire organization, and I have a specialized team that just deals. It's called the white glove crew. White glove, if you know anything about IT, white glove are the ones that if the CIO needs you to come to the house or the CEO needs you to come to the house and set it up, that's my team. So I'm having to have an air about myself and not look like I'm losing it, but inside I'm screaming. My CIO, well, no, he was an SVP at the time, and now he's gone to a major company as a CIO. He was like the CIO. Had a weird thing with SVP and he was CIO all in one. He saw in my eyes, because he knew me, the look of distress, but I saw that I was smiling, and he knew I wasn't at home because he knew um I was in the process of finding an apartment. So he messages me when the meeting ends. He said, "Are you okay?" I get on, call him, and me and him are talking, and we having, conversation, and I just burst into tears. Because you know how you hit a point where you just like, I can't anymore. I can't mask it. Because if I mask it, I'm going to lose my mind. Now, keep in mind, this is just in July, y'all. This is recent. This was after, I think it was after the 4th. So it was more it was about around, I can't remember. But I couldn't mask it anymore. I'm sitting there and I'm just bursting into tears. He says, wait, what's going on? What's going on? And I told him. He said, "We're going to figure out what we can do to help you get an apartment. Let's go, look online." And I said, I can't get one. It's hard to get one here. There's nothing you can do. And it got to the point that I said, I can't leave my daughter in New York, but I got a better chance to get me an apartment in LA, because the company partly is based in LA, New York, India. It's a small but big company. And I said, "But I don't want to move to LA. I can't leave my child here." I said, "I'm here with her." So I prayed about it. Now, keep in mind, my car wrecked. I got a new car I had just gotten. The side runner was hanging, so I'm driving, and it looks like I'm driving a torn up car. It was torn apart. Car busted. New car busted. I got to drop this car off the body shop, but I'm like, I got to have a decent car. I didn't want to rent a car because I ain't had the money, because I'm doing Airbnbs. Ended up having to drop my car off. This is how y'all works. I'm sitting there and I'm crying. He said, you're going to find an apartment. 2 weeks later, I'm sitting in the Airbnb, and sometimes the Most High make you find peace where you are. Madison, I think your stuff is your So they just called me. They're outside. So I'm sorry, y'all. So 2 weeks later, I'm sitting. We still searching for apartments. We go get one. They take me to an apartment that's disheveled. Take me to another apartment disheveled. I'm like, this is crazy. Why are they showing me all the things that's in the hood? My daughter on the side been working with this real estate agent. By the time I'm burned out, I'm burned out. I put my car in the shop, getting ready to go pick up my rental car. Had just been just tired. So you know what? We leave in New York. We're going back to Memphis for a couple of weeks just for a reset. Get to the dealership, drop my car off, and having to wait for the rental service to come up, we decided to walk down to a local grocery store to get some food and get something to drink because we hadn't eaten. The guy from Enterprise got mad at me because I was gone for 5 minutes, left on a Saturday morning. Enterprise closes and it don't open till Monday. I was planning to leave that Sunday morning to go back to Memphis and couldn't go. This is how y'all works. So I'm sitting there and I'm upset. And I said, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to leave this city. I need 2 weeks away and I can't get out of here. My rental car. So the dealership was like, well, your car is patched up enough to where you can drive it. Come back Monday morning and we'll take your car and you get your rental car and you out. Madison says, Mom, we got enough time. She had been nagging me about going to see an apartment. I'm like, I don't want to see another apartment. I need a break. I'm done. She said, I keep talking to this guy. Hey, Doug, I keep talking to this guy. He wants you to see this apartment. I said, all right. I said, we ain't got nothing else to do. Let's go see this apartment. By this time, I'm thinking, this was for me another nightmare and a mess. Because every single apartment I looked at was a nightmare. Come into the neighborhood. And I said, I've been in New York for a long time, in Brooklyn. I ain't never seen this neighborhood before. Thing is about Brooklyn, and anybody from New York know, Brooklyn got pockets of neighborhoods where you probably ain't never seen before. And I saw it. I said, I love this neighborhood, but wait a minute, this apartment looked like the projects on the outside. And walked into the apartment, the best apartment I've looked at since I've been looking at apartments, since I've been here. And was able to get, I said, okay. He said, think about it. Nobody's looking at it. Actually, this apartment is under the radar because it's listed as a 1-bedroom. Nobody really wants 1-bedrooms for the price, but they're not coming to see the apartment. The trick to the apartment is a 1-bedroom, but below it is a basement with a full flat and another bathroom. You can't find nothing like that in New York. On the top floor, you got a full bathroom. On the bottom floor, you got another bathroom. And it's a livable space. It looks like another whole apartment. But they can't list it as a room because it's a basement. So it's a 1-bedroom with a basement. So I said, this is a cool apartment. He said, yes. He said, it's a 1-bedroom. I said, okay. And ended up getting this apartment in a matter of days. So with that being said, sometimes, but I had to repent prior to that. Right before I found this apartment, I had to go before him and say, Father, you know what? I have murmured and complained for the past 3 years about everything. And Father, I know you're not pleased with that. I repent. Sometimes, y'all, we got to repent for complaining. We complain, and that's a sin. And sometimes the Father has to take you through the valley to see the blessing on the other side, because you're going to miss the blessing on the other side because you're too focused on the valley. And sometimes the valley will make you realize that where I was before the valley wasn't bad. And I've complained so much that, you know what? Let me go on the other side of this valley and see what's on the other side. And when I saw what was on the other side, it was nothing but Yah's blessings. And he had to get me to that place, y'all. Had to really get me to that place. I was even murmuring and complaining about this channel. I was like, I'm tired. I was getting ready to walk away from the Hebrew community. I'm gonna just be honest. Getting ready to walk away. Getting ready to go. I was tired. I was frustrated. All this stuff was going on. Everybody arguing about going to Africa, going to America, where we going, what is this? I said, I'm sick of everybody. And even with that, the father said, I never told you this was going to be easy. So I never told you this journey. And in this community was going to be easy. Now, man, we're going to keep you lifted. I'm going to pray for you that Yah gives you favor and they look past your credit score. In the name of Yeshua, we pray, Naomi, that you find you the place that he desires for you to have. In Yeshua's name we pray, amen. I'm gonna be honest. I just gotta be real with y'all. I was getting ready to walk away. I was getting ready to shift my channel to something else. And I was getting ready to make an announcement that, you know what, look, I'm still Hebrew, but I don't want to do this no more. I'm tired. My channel is gonna be about this. I was gonna do travel, cook, anything, but I was like, I'm done. I'm done with everybody. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of everybody and they BS. And I ain't say BS. I said the full word. And once I had to get me back recentered. And right now I'm in a good place. Everything around me still crazy with this community. But when you can find peace in the midst of craziness, you're good. And I'm in a peaceful place. I thank God every day for my peace. And that's what you got to do. You got to thank him for his peace. Because if he gives you peace, it don't matter where you are. You could be in a pup tent. His peace is just surpasses all understanding. Man, his peace is real. His peace it'll be stuff around you everything will be chaotic. Peace. Folks ready to find him at peace. Somebody is at peace. You get a phone call, text, peace. You get an email saying, peace. Why ain't you doing this, sister? Peace. Woo, that's a piece that people acting crazy as a mug in this community right now, y'all. I'm just gonna be brutally honest. I'm gonna be real as can be. Some folks in this community right now have seemed like they have lost their ever-loving mind. I still love them though. But peace. I still got my brothers. I still got Jacob. I still got Teo. I still got Dante. I still got Pastor Kelly. I still have Benaiah. You know, I still have Santonio, as crazy as he is, but that's a praying brother. I still have Ruhama, Brew Queen, Angie, Sheila, Susan. I hope I ain't missing no names. I thank God for those people around me at this time. And if I missed your name, you know I love you. And it's just, I'm running through names real quick. I thank God for them holding me up during that time to say, sis, no, that ain't what it is. That ain't what it is. Because y'all know me in this Hebrew community. One thing y'all know about me is I'm not going with the crowd. I think I've proven that with the community. I don't go with the crowd. Pastor Kelly, my brother, love him. I hope I didn't forget his name. I think I said Pastor Kelly. Ruhama, my sister, love her. I can't forget about her. Everybody in this chat, love y'all. I mean, been there, thick as thieves. And that's one thing y'all know about me. Y'all know, anything y'all know about me is Sister E ain't finna go with the crowd. Ain't never been that type person. Y'all know me, I'm gonna fuck against the system. How many times have y'all seen me do that? I think I used to say that's my biggest downfall, that I don't go with the crew. I don't go with the crowd. I praise the Most High for the person that gave me the apartment. Praise the Most High for that. That's one thing y'all gonna know about me. I'm gonna be real. Thank you. I try my best to be real because I was raised by a real person, real people. My mom and my dad are the real of the realest. Madison, raising oneness, real, a 100%, 10% real. Sometimes I got to tell her you doing the most. Sister's family, real. So with that being said, I can't go with the group. I can't. I can't. And I love them. I love them. I best thing to do is for my peace. Love you. But God is really, really blessing in this season of my life. So y'all ain't going nowhere. I don't plan to go nowhere. I'm gonna continue on with my journey with the things that I'm doing. I'm gonna continue on with the news. I'm gonna continue on with these conversations. If you don't see certain people around me, just keep it moving. Don't ask no questions. One says take a break. And but I'm still good and I'm at peace with y'all. I don't know why I'm here. But I thank him. Yeah, God, I thank him because I'm old school. Don't get me started. So now oh yeah, I've been a loner for so long. I've been a loner that I'm just like I'm good with it. But I love the crew. I ain't going nowhere. Y'all ain't going nowhere. I was though for a second. I was like, I'm gonna take a little break. And y'all remember it was months before I did anything. I tried to do stuff and it just my spirit wasn't at peace at that time. But I'm at peace now. And I'm here for it. Now I gotta get rid of the fluffiness. Cause I'm a stress eater. I ain't gained no weight, but I didn't gain some weight, but I hadn't gained any more. I'm back to where I was during COVID. So I praise God that it's not. I ain't gonna even say I ain't even as big as I was in COVID. So I haven't got to that point. But that point knocking at my door, I said, oh yes, I got to slow it on down. So okay, so with that being said, Yah is amazing. And he is greatly to be praised. And Dave, I'm gonna move when I'm ready to move. If you don't like it, you'll be all right. But y'all, I got to get it down. Yeah, mama got thick here. And it ain't a bad thing. It's the thing that I'm trying to stay away from. I'm trying to get it together. I'm trying to get it together, y'all. Thanks. I'm trying to get it together. So I'm finna hit this gym. I'm finna hit these smoothies. I'm finna get it together, y'all. Pray for me that I don't crave cupcakes and cookies and pies, glasses of wine. I drink a glass of wine here and there, so saints don't get sensitive because I said I drink a little glass of wine. If you don't drink a little glass of wine, that's on you. But I like a little. Oh man, I love a good little glass of something. I gotta give that up. I ain't going nowhere, y'all. I'm hanging on in there. But with that being said, I'm fighting. I'm fighting on by the grace of Yah. So I'm grateful. Yes, I like a little toddy. Y'all pray for me. I may have a little glass. If you ever see me in public and you see, I'm not getting drunk. I don't get drunk, but I have me a little. I like a little brandy, a little smidge of brandy. Uh, but yeah. But with that being said, y'all, let's have the real talk. So, with that being said, have y'all heard? I said this once, y'all. Don't forget to the news. Wine helps sleep, don't it? Don't you know they say a little wine settles the stomach? I told Pastor Kelly that one day. He just looked at me like, "Really, you finna run to that scripture?" I said, "Yep." They said a little wine settles the stomach. He said, He just looked at me like, knowing good well my stomach was not upset by no means. So with that being said, y'all, I have laughed. So I want everybody in the chat to light it up. Give me some hearts. I need hearts in the chat. Somebody, somebody said facts. Oh, a little settle the little stomach. Somebody said wine cooler. Did somebody somebody say wine cooler? I ain't had no wine. That's juice. Juice in a bottle. Okay, y'all ready for me to get to the news, y'all? When I tell y'all, this is real interesting right now. So thank y'all. Love y'all so much. So right now we are in the situation where Dave, you better leave me alone before I go get your cob on you. You better stop. But with that being said, Trump has already got started, y'all. Has already got started. Let me go ahead and share my little screen. Am I going to the right one? Yep, I need my glasses. I definitely need my glasses. That's not the right one. Hold on. Where is it? Is this? Yep, this is it. So, all right. So let me do my fair use. My fair use real quick. So I don't get hit with no strike, even though if they do, so be it. All right. Here we go. So copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, new reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So, So with that being said, fair use. So I'm gonna talk about the people crying because people are upset. They said New York has been quiet too as well since Trump has won. And I hadn't seen it because the area I live in, they keep moving. These Jamaicans don't care who won. They gotta go to work. I love it out here. The Caribbean community, they keep pressing. That's like any black person. They keep pressing. Election don't stop you having to go to work. So with that saying, it says Trump promises to implement largest mass deportation plan in history. This came out on NBC News 9 hours ago. That had to be what, this morning? And they say he's already making plans to say, this is what I'm getting ready to implement. Let's see if I can get rid of this because I'm tired of looking at this and it's not going to go nowhere. So let me play this. So fair use. This video is being played for education and research purposes only. So here we go. Let me put my little fair use banner up. And hold on. My little ticker, and call it a day. We finna play. This is crazy, y'all.
President-elect Trump has promised to conduct what he calls the largest deportation program in American history on day one of his new term.
And that message resonated with more voters this year than ever before. In an NBC News exit poll from Election Day, 40% of voters across the nation said undocumented immigrants should be deported. That's a 15% jump from when Mr. Trump was first elected to the White House back in 2016.
For more on this, we're joined now by NBC News Homeland Security correspondent Julia Ainsley. Julia, good morning. So you reported Mr. Trump is also considering withholding federal police grants from local law enforcement, so police departments and sheriff's departments that decline to take part in those proposed massive deportations. Walk us through the basics of this. I mean, roughly how many people could be targeted? Who would carry that out?
Well, Joe, it's something they tried in the previous Trump administration, but they were blocked in courts. But when you point out the polling like that, they think now they have the firepower and a new legal strategy that could push this through. What they're talking about is withholding federal grants to sanctuary cities. Any jurisdiction, you could look at New York, for example, many in Maryland, Chicago, Colorado, places across the country, California as a state, that would not have access to this very large pot, about $250 million of federal funding that goes out to law enforcement, not just to help with cops, but also things like drug rehab programs. A lot of law enforcement agencies, especially those in underserved areas, really depend on those federal grants. And they sued in the last administration, led by New York, to say that they could not withhold these for sanctuary policies. But now,
that being said, y'all, I'm like, y'all better keep y'all papers on you. Don't leave your house with no form of identification showing that you are a citizen. Because when they do start doing the sweep, they gonna be sweeping anything that don't look like them. Say it in the back room. They're gonna be sweeping anything that don't look like them. And the sad part is they'll look like let's say they did a sweep in this neighborhood and they decide to come in and just start a mass deportation. They can't tell me I don't look any different than an undocumented Jamaican or undocumented Caribbean. I don't look no different. And then I can be undocumented and still sound like this, because I've heard some Jamaicans who can swing their voice to sound as if they were American born, but then you catch them in the right situation, you start hearing the Caribbean accent. So that's why it's not good right now, y'all, to walk around I'm the same color, correct. It's not good. And it ain't gonna just impact the Hispanic community. It's gonna be any community of color. Any community of color. Make America great again to me means make America white again. That's what I think. I ain't complaining about, them helping people do it the right way. Hey, help people do it the right way. If they're here, get them to where they need to be. But the enemy number one, he gonna start kicking folk out. I'm talking about everybody. Anything that ain't white. That's how I feel. So every community of color gonna get impacted. So I would say don't walk in these cities, in these streets, and say I'm gonna run to the store and then leave your ID. I even say take a screenshot or I hate to say I have 2 copies of my birth certificate because I thought I had lost it, and I got another copy. And then when I looked in my boxes, I found the other copy. So I actually got 2 copies of birth certificate. Keep that copy with you in the car. Keep that copy in your wallet. Try to get another copy. I don't know if you can get 2 copies, but I actually got 2. Keep it on you. Because when they grab you and throw you, I don't think they're going to give you enough time to call your family to get your documents. So family, start keeping your documents on you. A driver's license, Social Security, and birth certificate. Keep that on you at all times.
now the incoming Trump administration thinks they could withhold those funds again, not only to get sanctuary cities to hand over migrants, undocumented migrants, to ICE for deportation, but actually to go out and identify anyone they think might be undocumented to be part of that mass deportation force we were talking about.
Republicans also regain control of this.
Think is undocumented. You heard I say that. Think. I ain't trying to fearmonger you, but Saints, if you are a person of color, if it be black, if it be Indian, if it be Hispanic, if it be anything, have your papers on you. Something that shows that you are a U.S. citizen, because they coming for whoever. If it be ICE, if they start doing raids, that's why even when you go out of town and go on the road, when I go out of town, I always take a copy of some form of personal identification on me. I keep something. I keep my ID. If I'm going on the road and me and Madison going to Memphis and I'm driving, I have a folder that I keep with me. In that folder is birth certificates, driver's license. Well, we keep our driver's licenses in our wallet. We keep our social security card, so that if somebody stops us and say, you are an undocumented citizen, or do you have any documents proving that you're a citizen, I can easily say, here it is right here. And that birth certificate and that ID kills the whole conversation right there. So
Senate in this election will hold the majority in that chamber for the first time in 4 years. Control of the House, of course, is still up in the air. But let's just say, what would full control of government mean for Trump's plans? What could it actually mean for controlling the border and any of these, proposals, theories that we talk about actually happening?
Well, it certainly would eliminate some of those checks and balances, but in large part, it would mean more funding. In fact, if you look at one of the things that Harris always complained about on the border was that Republicans stood in her way, really stood in the Biden administration's way of passing that border security bill that would have put more people at the border. Now, if they win the House, if Republicans rather win the House, you could have a massive funding bill to the incoming Trump administration on immigration that could triple the size of Customs and Border Protection, Border Patrol, and ICE that would allow them to expand detention capacity. And I still think it's a long way off to see how they would deport millions of migrants in a very short amount of time, even with that amount of money, but it would certainly get them started.
So another NBC News exit poll found a majority of voters nationwide have more trust in Mr. Trump to handle immigration. You have some new exclusive reporting that the Biden administration is making contingency plans for a possible surge in border crossings ahead of a Trump presidency. What can you tell us about that? I'm also just curious, do they think there could be a surge, or do they think that the fact that Mr. Trump could take office could actually discourage people from coming?
What they think, and it's something that we saw at the end of the Obama administration leading up to the first Trump administration, is that there could be more people who decide to come between now and when Trump is inaugurated because they think, sometimes falsely so, that the door is simply going to close and the time is now. Sometimes we've seen smugglers exploit that in these chat groups. And in fact, we're able to watch some of the chatter there. I have some of this translated right here. People saying after the 21 of January, he will close the borders with extreme security. There's not a lot of time left. You have until January to enter. All things that people are hearing both from smugglers who are advertising their services and from the migrants considering coming. And we know this is something the Biden administration is planning for now.
All right, Julia Ainsley, always appreciate your reporting. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about.
yeah, you ain't got to take your actual copy. Take a picture of it or something. Let them know, hey, I'm a citizen. Here's a picture of my birth certificate. You ain't got to take your document. I just take mine because when I go to Memphis or when I go out of town, I'm usually not, it's not a 2-day thing sometimes, especially when I'm going home to visit family. I'm there for a month. So if all hell breaks loose while I'm in Memphis, I got my documents already with me. You never know. I live in New York. I may come home one time and they lock down New York, but we can't even get in. I don't even leave my dog in New York when I'm leaving. I will take him with me, and then if I want to board him, I'll board him in Memphis. When I'm going to Memphis or I'm going anywhere, I don't leave. Me, my daughter, and my dog go. People ask me why I drive. I don't want to be stuck somewhere, and I don't even have a car. I take the hit and drive and have my own car and have my stuff with me. I've always been like that. So yeah, it's getting serious out here. It really is. I'm sorry for yawning, y'all. I have been up running errands all morning. So this was my first day back to work after being on vacation. So with that being said, hold on. I'm doing a live, right? Okay. So I'm sorry, I had to answer that. But with that being said, it is gonna be a change. Some things are gonna transpire. Another thing that's going on is Trump is saying no go with these wars. So folks gonna be beefing with him off the rip with the war. And, okay, here we go. Because I accidentally went to shorts. I don't know why I did that. But okay, so why is my computer doing this? Okay, playlist. Um let's see, watch later. Let me see. History. I'm trying to go to the video I had saved. Um so with that being said, Trump already coming through the door. I mean, like gangbusters. He is already warning. Um, who is this? He's warning. Who is he warning? So right now he is warning Iran and Israel to chill out. He's telling them he unveiled a warning to Israel, surprise for Iran in victory. So I'm gonna play this for y'all. Let me share.
But we had no wars. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars.
Fair use.
A common core of common sense. You know, we're the party of common sense. We want to have borders. We want to have security. We want to have things be good, safe. We want great education. We want a strong and powerful military, and ideally we don't have to use it. You know, we had no wars. 4 years we had no wars, except we defeated ISIS. We defeated ISIS in record time, but we had no wars. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. But this is also a massive victory for democracy and for freedom. Together, we're going to unlock America's glorious destiny, and we're going to achieve the most incredible future for our people. Yesterday, as I stood at my last stop on the campaign trail, I'll never be doing a rally again. Can you believe it? I think we've done 900 rallies approximately from them. Can you imagine? 900, 901, something, a lot of rallies. And it was sad. Everybody was sad. Many people, I said, this is our last rally. But now we're going on to something that's far more important, because the rallies were used for us to be put in this position where we can really help our country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make our country better than it ever has been. And I said that many people have told me that God spared my life for a reason. And that reason was to save our country and to restore America to greatness. And now we are going to fulfill that mission together. We're going to fulfill that mission. The task before us will not be easy, but I will bring every ounce of energy, spirit, and fight that I have in my soul to the job that you've entrusted to me. This is a great job. There's no job like this. This is the most important job in the world.
And his son got tall. I was looking, I said, wait a minute, that's the little boy. He looks like Lurch right now. Oh my gosh, he tall. But with that being said, you gotta listen to his key to Trump. I'm gonna tell y'all. Pay attention. He talks in circles, but pay attention when he just randomly say stuff. And he said, we don't start wars, we stop wars. I said, oh, here we come. So he already gave Israel and Iran warnings to chill out. We ain't funding no wars. And what you're gonna do is you finna end this war. He's literally letting them know what's going on. Watcher 215. I ain't seen you in a good little minute. He's literally saying we finna stop these wars because I ain't got the time. So that's why I'm telling people, man, look, when he first comes in office, I believe, this is just my belief. I believe that this is going to be a season of excess where people are going to be making a lot of money because he got to prove his point. So stack that little cheese up that he give you whenever he started, when this economy, because I really believe it's going to be a season of where the economy is going to be good for a little second. It's going to be a little season of a good economy. And then all of a sudden it's going to flip. Just make sure you prepare for the flip. When it flips, don't get caught off guard where it. And I really believe Most High is giving us time to get it together because ain't none of us ready. Ain't none of us ready. Everybody can't. You can sit here and play like you ready. Ain't nobody ready. But he giving your time. He giving y'all time to get y'all stuff together. So whenever we start getting this little check, and folks start making a little extra money, don't go buy no brand new Lexus. Don't go buy no brand new nothing. Well, I got a nice car, but I bought that before the thing. But praise the Most High. But I mean, if you buy your car, buy your little car. I ain't gonna tell you not to. But don't go out here and spend your money where to the point you don't have nothing put aside. Because what's gonna happen is he gonna make a flip. Because what he's gonna do is sanction the heck out of everybody. He's gonna put tariffs on everything. He gonna make everything look good. He gonna tell them we ain't sending no more. And I do agree with that. He ain't sending no more money to Ukraine. He ain't spending no money to Israel. He ain't sending no more money. He finna shut it. I believe he get ready to shut it down. But then as soon as he shut it down, he gonna flip. And when he flip, he gonna say, all right, guess what? I'm finna change the game. And if he changed the game right now, all of us, a lot of us would be caught unprepared. But get prepared. Get prepared. That's all I'm saying. So he said, don't put that money in the bank, but keep it all at home because the banks are going to shut down. Put it in a safe, don't bury it in your backyard. Just make sure if you ain't got, get your stuff in order pretty much. That's all I'm saying. I really pray that Most High open doors where we get a lot of what we need so that we can be able to put back. Because when everything go left, everything is going to go left. It'll go left quickly. That's what I think. And I ain't saying I ain't being prophetic. I ain't up here saying I'm a prophet. I'm just telling you what I think possibly could happen. And understand that when everything goes down, this is going to be a worldwide event. Everybody's making it seem as if it's just going to be America. Y'all, when everything goes to heck, when it goes to heck here, it's going to go to heck everywhere else. And the thing is, I know everybody talking about bricks. Bricks. I don't have, can I be honest with y'all? I don't even have 100% faith in bricks either. I believe that's I ain't saying I don't think it's going to make it. I think it's going to do what it's going to do. But it takes time for another economy to grow. It took the U.S. decades to get where they are now. It took 200 years for them to be able to do what they're doing now. So that I don't think Brexit is going to be an overnight success. I'm just going to be honest. I've been watching it. They're doing a good thing where if they're sanctioned, they're interacting with each other and they're trading amongst each other and keeping the money in house so that they can be able to not get beat up. Because really, BRICS was designed. When I really look at the root of what BRICS was designed for, it was because these countries are tired of being sanctioned by the U.S. That's what I'm thinking. So they said, you know what, we're going to keep creating our own economy and we got to depend on the U.S. because the U.S. is always trying to sanction somebody. So, I mean, the thing is this, we have to be wise in the things that we do. And just, everybody's like, oh, Brexit is just going to be. Man, please. And I ain't knocking them, but I'm not one that is just like bricks. It's gonna take bricks to get off it's gonna take a minute for bricks to get off the ground. That's what I'm thinking. So Trump is gonna cut. Oh yeah, he's gonna cut taxes. They already, I saw on the news, interest rate has been cut a quarter or 0.25% or 25%. I hope I'm saying it right. 25%. So they already started to cut these interest rates with these banks. So they're decreasing the interest rates. So by decreasing these interest rates, companies are going to be able to borrow more money. Companies are going to be able to do a little bit more. So we're going to start seeing quick changes. I think. And then after that, I think everything's going to start slowing up. In fact, I'm going to be honest. I think something going to happen. I think it's going to be a major event happening. I think something like, please let them get rid of him. They from hell. They are the devil themselves. That's Satan. They are Satan. Please get rid of them. Fire him. Get rid of them. I hate them. Ooh, I hate them. Ooh, you want to get me upset. Jesus, I can't stand them. Whatever the Lord do with them, I'm going to be satisfied. It's the devil. They are the devil. I don't like them at all. So y'all laughing at me, but I'm so serious. Ooh. Please wipe our text that away. Oh my goodness, I can't stand them. You just made me. Yes, them. They the devil. They are the devil. I don't like them. So I just went to a whole tangent. Sorry, y'all. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. And the student loans, they are the Antichrist. They are the part of the Antichrist system. Student loans are IRS, baby. But if he got on right now and say, I'm doing away with IRS, y'all can't tell me y'all ain't gonna be happy. It's gonna be some Democrats that's gonna be happy. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a year of flourish. I'd say that much. Be like Joseph. Store away what you have. Store away. Store. This is the season to store your things so that you can be able to make it through a famine. Because we ain't went through no famine yet. We ain't seen no famine. We ain't seen no famine. So store up, put things away in the storehouse. Be money, if it be whatever. Just store things up, buy resources, buy seeds. I think this last go round has been like a rehearsal. Now we understand how it works. Now it's time for us to move. So with that being said, y'all, I said I was going to start doing smaller snippets of things. I'm not going to be on long. I'm going to do talk about a few more things, and then I'm logging off, and I'll see y'all again. I'm learning how not to be on live for 5 hours. Even though yesterday's live was good. Yesterday's live was really good. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday's live was really good. So we're gonna do more lives like that. So, but with that being said, y'all, yeah, store up. So it's one more thing I want to show y'all, and then I am out. Here we go. Fair use. This is used for educational purposes only. Only. Let me get past this commercial. Education and research only. So, fair use. Do I want to do that one? Hold on. Trying to see. I guess I can play this one. I'm just not these smaller channels. I be. Oh, where's Bloomberg 10 TV? So that's not bad.
We've got a lot of questions for you here, beginning with this market reaction. This is a monster move to see a day in which the Dow's up over 1,000 points. The S&P 500 is up some.
Keep in mind, all this stuff, this is how I think the job market is going to be impacted. The job market always goes into a stall right during a presidential election. And what I'm noticing is when Democrats are in office, you start seeing a mass number of layoffs. You start seeing people getting laid off. You start seeing companies being impacted when a Democrat is in office. But when a Republican goes in, you start seeing companies. So I think these companies are going to start doing better with, their head count. So
2%, but the bond market is moving in the other direction. We're looking at a 4.5 here as of this moment on the 10-year.
Yes.
What do you make specifically of the reaction in the bond market? This is clearly in anticipation of some sort of inflationary event.
Well, here's the thing. When I was talking with investors and clients, as I do, that's most of my day job.
Yeah.
The simple question is, what happens if Harris wins? What happens if Trump wins? And my initial read, in very simplistic terms, was Harris, bad for equities, good for bonds. Trump, good for equities, bad for bonds. And that related to the fact on where I see growth and also how the market initially would react to things. So, for example, with Trump, equities are up because the market's more excited about growth, lower tax rates, less regulation, et cetera. But the bond market gets worried about more spending, tax cuts, et cetera. And like the CBO, for example, they're going to initially probably score a Trump budget as being, more deficit related spending. The Tax Foundation found that. The problem with it is that we don't know the specifics yet. And I'd argue if you look back at the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 and you see what CBO scored, the revenue numbers in 16, we actually got the money in 18. In other words, the tax cut paid for itself. So I think these are, knee-jerk reactions, and then we'll see what happens once we get some meat to the bone.
Well, so as you consider the timeline you just said there, knowing that there was $8 trillion in deficit added during the first Trump administration, the Committee for Responsible Budget says it could be another $15 trillion, if not all of it pays for itself. But it is a question of time, especially knowing these markets are discounting mechanisms. They are looking well ahead. So when we consider sequencing here, things like tariffs, that could potentially hit the economy first before the actual beneficiary impacts of lower taxes is fully felt and recognized in corporate profits and the like, right? How should we think about the way in which this plays out?
Right. So you're absolutely right. Markets are forward-looking, and they may fear or they could think that, okay, tariffs are inflationary. It's a one-off price adjustment. But again, it would be how are the tariffs implemented and what would the U.S. be getting in return? I think there's this misperception that day one of Trump, we're going to have tariffs across the board, X percent. And this is my guess. And in China, it's going to be at least 60%, maybe higher. To me, it's going to be more nuanced. It's going to be very transactional. In other words, tariffs are going to be used in large part as a tool to essentially have more fair trade. So, for example, the U.S. has certain environmental regulations and certain rules against child labor. Some of our trading partners don't have those same rules, and we're at a disadvantage. So to the extent tariffs can level the playing field and make trade fair, I think that makes sense. Also, it would depend, too, what happens with energy policy. If we have a significant amount of drilling and energy production, that will offset the tariffs, even if the tariffs, for argument's sake, were implemented across the board. The energy share of the economy is bigger than the import share of the economy. So it really depends how it's going to be put into place. And I always tell people, look at things, the broad policy set. Like, don't focus just on the tariffs. Don't focus just on the tax cuts, look at the holistic approach in terms of trying to increase productive capacity.
I guess a simpler way, though, of asking my question would be, are we likely to feel the inflation before we feel the growth?
No, I don't believe so. I don't believe so because if energy prices stay low, that will immediately hit people's pocketbooks in a positive way. Prices will come down. The general rule of thumb is every 1 penny change in gasoline is worth about $1 billion in terms of an energy tax cut. So if you get prices down 50 cents, may not seem like a lot, but in a $25 trillion economy, that's basically like a $50 billion tax cut immediately.
To the skin that feels the world around me.
So that's interesting. So I would say right now, we're already feeling the inflation. The inflation been here. Before we even had a new president, it's been inflation going on. So, but I say just pay attention to the economy right now. I really think that we're going to probably see a little spike in the economy, like I said, and then all of a sudden we're going to see it go left. We might see the economy tank after this. I don't know. But what I do know is if we do see things begin to turn around when it comes to our economy, put your money aside. So U.S. went from exporting country to importing country. Clean sign of lack of jobs, period. Yep. So this is a good conversation. So understand the institution that we live in. So with that being said, y'all, I'm going to bed. I want to kind of talk about some of the things I got to gather, more reports of what's going on, and do more segments like this. Because I'm telling y'all, I really believe for the next couple of years while he's in office, one, the news is going to be interesting. I'll say that much because he acts a fool in front of the news. He say any dang thing he want to say. He gives us a show every single time. I said, well, at least CNN and the MSNBC and Fox News gonna be a little bit more interesting. But I think we're gonna see some level of growth in the economy, which I'm excited about. Hopefully. So for a little bit, at least put me some money aside. All right, family. Well, I'm going to bed. We're gonna talk more. I'm gonna bring up some more guests, not tonight because tonight is kind of late. But I was gonna bring some people up. We're gonna have discussions. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna have fun. Yesterday, like we did yesterday, with Wiggins and what's the other guy? In fact, he has a live. If y'all want to go check him out while he's live, go support him. He's live right now. I want to check him out as to also. Let me see. What's his name? Torah Movement. He's live right now. So y'all, let's leave here. Let's leave here and go support him. You know, I'm all about supporting our community. We can help him. Let's help him out. He's live now. And that's the new Torah Movement guy, El Diara. So he's live now. So I'm gonna go check him out. I'm gonna clean up my room, fold these clothes I just washed, and I'll see y'all another segment. I'm gonna start scheduling my lives because I don't know who it was. Someone mentioned to me that I gotta schedule something. Somebody told me when I schedule things, it indicates to you all 30 minutes and 30 minutes to see he's going live. So it does. The notification works better when I schedule stuff. So I'm gonna stop just doing sporadic live so much. I'm gonna start scheduling things. So let's do this, y'all. Let's hop off this live. Let's go support New Torah Movement if y'all can. Let's get his numbers up. He's sitting at how many he got watching him right now? He got 13 people. Let's see if we can get some more people over there and support him. And I'm gonna watch him and do a little I'ma fold clothes. So y'all, peace and blessings. Much love. I'll see y'all on this weekend. I'm gonna do a little something. I'm gonna bring the crazy people up. All right. Love y'all.
All different type of information every week. Let me speak. If you subscribe, we're going deep. Love talk, Sister E. God's work, Sister E. Charity, Sister E. Let's talk with Sister E.